Hello again. Welcome back to Granny Dorothy Visits. Today's topic is everything in life becomes your teacher. And the first reading from Wayne Dyer's Everyday Wisdom. Learn to find the blessing in pain. Practice observing the pain rather than owning it. And the next one from Julia Cameron's Blessings. The quote at the top of the page is from Albert Einstein, and he said, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." And the title is, "My Heart is a Gateway for God." My faith is a lantern in times of darkness, a gentle hearth against the cold. My response to loss is faith. My response to a door which closes is anticipation of another, more appropriate door opening. As I release my insistence on having my good come to me from the persons and situations which I myself select, I open myself to greater good which comes to me from more persons and more sources than I can yet imagine. The universe is abundant in its desires for me. There is a plan and a perfect pace for my blossoming and unfolding. In the face of loss, I feel my feelings and I accept them. That done, I respond next with curiosity. What new plans does the universe have for me? What new person is meant to enter my life now? The flow of life is a river filled with opportunity. I allow that river to gift me with riches, to wash away my regrets, my doubts, my despair. In every loss, I see the beginning of a new unfolding. As I accept my loss, I ready myself for the hidden gift which it contains. Rather than close my heart defensively, I open my heart as a wide gate for the blessing of the world to enter. And the last reading is from Dr. Gladys McGarey, The Well-Lived Life. I'm not under the illusion that this fifth secret is easy. I don't think that looking for the lessons in life, especially when we feel wronged or unlucky or just flat out mad, is a simple thing to do. It's a commitment. It requires discipline. We're going to falter, fall to our knees, mess it up along the way. That's just about guaranteed. Yet it's one of the most important things we can do in our soul's journey. When it becomes habit, it can even be joyful. The hardest moments of our life will still hurt, but looking for the lessons in them helps us process the lesser challenges more easily. When we turn toward life, we realize that it is turning toward us in return. Life is always trying to show us something. It's communicating with us through the events, people, and ideas that show up in our lives, offering us an opportunity for gratitude. Are we listening? Let's start with a challenging but less earth-shattering example. Just a few years ago, decades after I clomped around in Bill's slippers, I made the difficult decision to stop driving. I had always liked driving. It had symbolized independence to me ever since my very first Model A Ford that I had driven in college. It was already a clunker by then, but I loved it. Yet as I approached the centenarian mark, my eyesight began to deteriorate. I've had these eyes longer than most people have, and they simply weren't made to last forever. I stopped driving because life communicated to me that it was time for me to do so. One day, while driving a familiar path through Scottsdale, I drove over a curb. I was a careful driver, so that was unusual. I simply hadn't seen it. In that moment, I knew it was time for me to make a decision. Option A was to pretend that what had just happened hadn't actually happened, or that it didn't matter. Option B was to hand over the keys. I thought about my great-grandchildren playing on their bikes in the road, the neighbors and friends out walking their dogs, the thousands of other drivers out there whom I didn't know, but who had just as much right to be alive as I did. I handed over the keys. Without that curb, I might not have stopped driving. It was the wake-up call I needed to make a change. Driving over the curb was a lesson from life, and I was fortunate to be able to hear and understand it. I've been seeking out lessons from the world around me for most of my life. That's why my fifth secret for you is, everything is your teacher. When we look for the lessons, we move our attention away from our suffering and direct it back toward life. Everything in life becomes a teacher. Seeing everything this way helps us make our life a living, breathing process. It calls us to engage and interact with everything, absolutely everything that appears on our path. I just love her book. She's 102, actually I guess she's about 103 now, and has such good advice for us, and it's so true that we have to be aware and be open to everything around us. Can you hear the birds? Aren't they wonderful? Anyway, I send you my love. Until next week, bye for now.